Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's One Piece Treasure Cruise video I will be showcasing 9 different teams, 3 for each variation, for the new Kizuna class versus Blackbeard. The 3 colors this time are Int, Psi and Strength, and each variation after level 30 gets more mechanics. For the Int variation, 5 turns of paralysis and 2 turns of bind will be added. For the Psi variation, 5 turns of damage reduction and 2 turns of attack down. And for the Strength variation, 5 turns of threshold, 1 turn of defense up and 1 turn of attack down. All of the teams you will see in this video can deal with every mechanic you will ever face, and the first team for each variation will be using the new Kizuna Rare Recruit Drake as a friend captain, while the rest won't use the new Kizuna Rare Recruits at all. For majority of my teams I am using the host ship for more EXP, but you can use whatever ship you want, especially if you want more damage. 80% of my viewers are not actually subscribed, so if you haven't already and you enjoy my One Piece Treasure Cruise content, definitely consider subscribing, it is absolutely free. Without further ado, let's get to my teams and strategy versus Kizuna Blackbeard. Team 1 versus the Int variation will be using a friend captain Kizuna Rare Recruit Drake, and our captain will be 6+ V1 Oden. We are also using Corazon as support on the new treasure map Law, so he can remove 1 turn of bind and 1 turn of paralysis after level 30. Before level 30 paralysis is not going to appear, and we have Okiku for the bind alongside sockets of course. In stage number 2 now, we are actually going to activate a lot of specials, but do not worry, the damage is a lot in the final stage as well. First activate Drake to remove attack down completely and get an attack boost. Then activate Oden's special to get an orb boost and also make all of the strength slots into Wano. You are not going to have a full board of matching slots here, but do not worry yet. We activate the Shanks Crew for a 3-turn chain lock, and then we activate treasure map Law. All of the type slots will become matching. You want to make him your captain, so you actually evade the blow away after Burgess' defeat, and you will also extend the duration of your attack boost and orb boost so you can carry them over alongside the chain lock for the final stage. Some insight for you to have matching slots in the final stage: Law makes them matching except if they are TND or RCV. So attack with either Drake and Oden or Drake and Law to defeat Burgess. It is super easy to do, you have tons of boosting. And then keep the matching slots on the rest of the units. Either if they are Wano or just matching, it is absolutely fine. And in the final stage, after sockets take place, you also need to make certain you enter the quest with Okiku either in the middle right spot or in the bottom left so she can evade bind, and also on Shanks to get special cooldown reduction. Okiku will reduce both bind and paralysis alongside Corazon. They will remove it. Her double special activation will be needed after 30. Then Rayleigh will remove the damage reduction completely and also give us a color affinity boost. And finally, we are going to activate Oden's super type to get guaranteed Wano slots on our captains and more damage to defeat the boss. Team 2 versus the Int variation will be using 6+ super type Sabo with a friend captain Toki. Here, Sabo gets access to his super type ability through Koala or Ace, so at least try to use one of them. And I'm also using free-to-play treasure map reward Jinbe support on Ace for stage number 2 to have locked matching slots for the final stage as well. Jinbe can also be attached on Sabo. In stage number 2, what you want to do is first activate Sabo to get the color affinity boost in the next stage if you hit 3 perfects, and also a chain lock in the next stage. Then activate Toki's special, targeting Sabo and herself, so Sabo can also evade the blow away. And then activate Koala to remove the attack down completely. Finally also activate Ace to get an orb boost and a full board of guaranteed matching slots, and Jinbe will lock them. And if you want, you can also activate Toki's super type for more damage in case you don't get the chain boundaries from Ace. Because if Sabo happens to have a strength slot, you will also get chain boundaries, which is not important because either way you can very easily beat Burgess by attacking with Sanji and Sabo last in the chain. If you do not have Ace, don't really worry, you just need someone to give you matching slots and some kind of boosting in order to beat Burgess. In the final stage versus Blackbeard, he will either become Dex or stay Int. Of course, here he becomes Dex again, so we want to end on Toki. If he became Int, we would want to end on Sabo, of course. Either way, you want to have Law either middle right or bottom left so he can evade bind, and then you activate him to remove both bind and paralysis later on. You also need sockets of course for bind, and then you activate Sanji to remove the damage reduction and get chain boundaries. Finally activate the super type of Sabo for more damage, and Toki as well if you didn't in stage 2, and then beat Blackbeard attacking with color advantage. Team 3 versus the int variation will be using our own Captain Toki and the friend Captain Franky and Chopper, the dual unit. What you want to do is enter the quest on Franky, and here I do swaps to charge up the super swap for stage number 2, but I do not really think it is important. I just wanted to make 100% certain that I have enough damage, but with the normal swap and the special activation you're probably just fine. Be very careful though, you need to enter stage number 2 while you are on Franky, because his single captain ability can remove attack down. The Dex side / choppers cannot do that, he removes burn. So enter on Franky and do not think I'm gonna enter on chopper, then swap, and then activate on the Psy side to have more damage in the final stage if the enemy stays int. Do not do that because we have Toki anyways, and the damage Franky would add on the Psy side is pretty negligible. In stage 2, after attack down is gone, you can super swap or simple swap to chopper. You will have a guaranteed dex slot, and then you activate their special to get an attack boost and an ore boost for majority of your units, everyone except Germa. Then you want to activate Toki's special targeting herself, so she's immune to the blow away, and also Germa 66. Then activate her super type as well to increase the damage coming from your strength units. The color affinity won't be applied because we have one from the swap. And then you attack based on slots and color advantage, always ending of course on your Dex friend captain, who will do tons of damage to Burgess and easily allow you to proceed. Just like with the other two teams against this variation, you want to make certain that your bind remover is either in the bottom left or middle right spot to evade bind and then remove it, alongside maximum sockets of course. Now that Toki in the final stage will give us an attack boost and an ore boost for herself and Germa, coming out of the Toki state, you want to be very careful and activate Germa first. They will become captain, give you a full board of TNT slots, won't give you an ore boost, you already have one, and then will also gain color advantage over both the Dex and the int version. Also activate their super type for more damage. Now you are ready to activate the rest of your units. Jack will remove both paralysis and bind and also give you a chain boost. Caesar will give you chain boundaries. And then finally Queen will give you a base attack boost and remove damage reduction completely. All of these three specials can work to their maximum potential because Germa is captain, so always activate them first. Then attack ending on Toki and Germa of course for the maximum damage possible. Team 1 versus the Psy variation will be using Queen as captain with the friend captain Kizuna KRR Drake. Here I am using Legend Moria support on Katarina Devon, and the reason is to get a color affinity boost in the final stage. So because we have one Marcos special can give us a chain boost. You can also use another color affinity booster like Rare Recruit, Int, Towel, Nami, but Moria is also pretty decent for Katarina Devon and Queen. In stage number 2, what you want to do is first activate Queen to get an attack boost, and if you hit 3 perfects you also get chain boundaries in the next stage, which is needed. Then you want to activate Lucci. He will give you an ore boost, a base attack boost and remove defense up completely. And finally you want to activate Treasure Map Law. You want to switch him to the captain position, that way Doc Q cannot switch Queen with the bottom row captain. And on top of that, Law will also give you the ability to hit 3 perfects by attacking with Queen, Lucci and Katarina Devon before you attack with everyone else to beat Doc Q, so you can get the chain boundaries from Queen's special in the final stage for more damage of course. Blackbeard in this variation will either stay Psy or become Q, that's why we have a mixture of Dex and Int units, and before we had a mixture of Strength and Psy units. Queen in this stage will activate his special automatically because we got an ore boost in the previous stage, and we also have the chain boundaries. Moria support will activate giving us a color affinity boost, so now Marco will give us a chain boost and also remove paralysis completely. Then we want to activate Katarina Devon to increase our attack boost and get a conditional attack boost, while also completely removing threshold. Then we have Drake's special, who after level 30 will deal with both attack down and the damage reduction. Before level 30 you can skip his activation. And finally, you also want to activate Queen's super type ability for the full board of guaranteed matching slots, and then you attack based on color advantage, ending on either Queen or Devon to beat the enemy. Team 2 versus the Psy variation will be using Summer Reiju with a friend captain V2 Treasure Map Legend Crocodile. With this team, all of your support can be stat boosters, you don't need anything specific. But if you do have the Whale Sharks as a ship, I would advise you to use it, because the only slots that cannot be made matching are TND in the final stage, and the Whale Sharks can make them matching, so you have 100% of a chance to get a full board of matching slots with that ship. In stage 2 now, versus Toki, you can swap Robin and Jinbe if you want to, especially if you have adjacent RCV and TND slots, so they can make them matching, and then you can activate Law to make all of the type slots matching, and of course make him captain to evade the swap with the bottom row unit. And after that, you will also want to activate Mihawk to remove the defense up completely, cut Toki's HP, and also get a chain lock. Now you are ready to attack. Have in mind, all of the units in the team are cerebral, except Sangoro. He's the only non-cerebral unit, so start the attacking chains with him when you are aiming to do maximum damage. For the final stage versus Blackbeard, he will either stay Psy or become Q, and I have to say, Robin and Jinbe in this team are so useful. They can remove threshold, attack down and damage reduction after level 30, give us a base attack boost, and also Robin allows Crocodile to gain access to his super type ability. They are also in 10 decks, so they can have color advantage over Blackbeard, whatever he decides to become. First though, activate Reiju's special to remove paralysis and get an attack boost, and then her super type to get an orb boost for everyone. Then activate your friend captain's special to get chain boundaries and his super class ability to make all of the RCV slots matching and also increase your damage even more. Then you want to activate Robin and Jinbe to deal with all of the debuffs I previously mentioned, get a base attack boost, and you can also have color advantage, so if Blackbeard is Q, activate the Robin side, and if he is Psy, activate the Jinbe side. And finally activate Colosseum Sangoro to get a full board of matching slots and a color affinity boost. Then attack based on color advantage and defeat the enemy. Team 3 versus the Psy variation will be using W2 Strawhat Crew as captains. We are also using free-to-play Pedro support on our Strawhat Crew, so we can remove attack down after level 30 when it appears. Then we're also using page 1 on ulti, since we need ulti not only to become captain in stage number 2, but to also reduce Toki's defense to 0. Hence why we need a page 1 support on here. If it's not this one and you have another page 1 support, you can attach to ulti, do that, it will work the same. Before ulti though, activate both of your captain specials on the deck side of the crew, so you get a 3-turn attack boost, orb boost, chain boost and color affinity boost, while also gaining a full board of guaranteed rainbow slots, locking them for the final stage as well. Now it is time to activate ulti for her to take over as captain and reduce the enemy's defense to 0. Attack, take care of Toki immediately in one turn, super easy to do because you have lots of damage, and proceed to the final stage to challenge Blackbeard. Entering the boss stage, of course, ulti will go back to the crewmate spot, and have in mind she cannot have color advantage over Blackbeard, so always start your attacking chain in the final stage with her. We of course still have all of the Strawhat boosts, so you want to activate Katarina Devon first to completely remove threshold, increase your attack boost and get a conditional attack boost. Then you want to activate Treasure Map Sabo, who will give us chain boundaries and also completely remove the paralysis. And finally, Reiju will remove the damage reduction after level 30 completely. For now, you do not need her. Attack Blackbeard now based on color advantage, always ending on one of the two Strawhat Crew captains depending on final tap level. Team 1 versus the strength variation will be using King as captain with the friend captain Kizuna Rare Recruit Drake, of course, for more tickets. The unit placement of Bobbin here is actually very important. You need him in the middle row under your friend captain Drake, because Drake needs a guaranteed matching slot in stage number 2 in order for you to beat the enemy. We also are using Sanji Pudding entering on Sanji, so in stage 2 we can swap to Pudding, fishing for some better slots, and then we can activate Bobbin for guaranteed adjacent slots. Bobbin, of course, also removes damage reduction completely. Then you want to attack Van Ogre based on slots, always ending on your friend captain, who has color advantage over every color in this Kizuna to beat stage number 2. In the final stage now, after level 30, the already existing attack down and defense up from 4 turns will be increased to 5, but it is still super easy to deal with because of our friend captain Drake. Activate him first, remove both debuffs, and also get an attack boost with a damage reduction shield, which is not that important because we have Sanji Pudding, who will be activated next to remove Threshold, give us a color affinity boost, and also give us Threshold to survive the end of turn damage. Then we activate Halloween Boa Hancock for a chain lock and a base attack boost on our Q units. Super Sugofest Law is only here to apply increased damage taken to Blackbeard. You can replace him if you miss utility. And finally, we are going to activate our Captain's Special for an Ore boost and the Super Type for a full board of guaranteed matching slots. Then start your attacking chain with Law and Boa Hancock, and then everyone else to do lots of damage against Blackbeard, and of course also survive the final hit. Team 2 versus the strength variation will be using double Treasure Map Legend Hina as captain, but do not worry if you did not pull her, I also have another team with her as friend captain only. What we want to do here is enter the quest on Kinemon, and because we are also using Treasure Map Rare Recruit Tasigi, we already have a full board of Q slots locked for the entirety of the quest. Our other dual unit, Magellan and Hannibal, needs to be on Hannibal when we enter the quest in order to get special cooldown reduction. In stage 2 now, swap Kinemon to Denjiro to reduce the resistance of Van Ogre, and also activate Denjiro to completely remove the damage reduction, get an ore boost and a base attack boost for himself and Zoro. Then build up your chain a bit and then attack with your slasher units to defeat the stage 2 miniboss and proceed. For supports on this team, you don't need anything specific, just use your best stat boosters, and have in mind Tasigi gives Hina access to her super type ability. Now in the final stage, thankfully this boss cannot change color, so it will be strength no matter what, and after the preemptive, you want to activate one Hina to remove attack down and defense up completely, get a damage reduction shield and an ore boost. Then you want to activate the other Hina to get an attack boost and a base attack boost for your Q units, and finally one super type to increase your damage versus the strength Blackbeard. The conditional attack boost won't apply. Now you want to activate Hannibal. He will shuffle your slots, but he will give you a color affinity boost, and if you activate Tasigi after him, which you need to do, all of your slots will be matching again, and Tasigi will give you chain boundaries and a chain boost. Finally, after level 30, you are going to need to activate Zoro to remove Threshold completely, and do not activate him before Hannibal because he gives you a worse color affinity boost. Now you are ready to attack Blackbeard and easily defeat him. Team 3 versus the strength variation will be using Hina as a friend captain, and we are going to use Bone Clay, another Treasure Map Legend, as captain. With this team you don't really have guaranteed matching slots when you enter the quest because we are not using Treasure Map Rare Recruit Tasigi, but even though my slots here were pretty good, no need to worry, you can beat stage number 2 even if you don't have great slots. Versus Van Ogre, what you want to do is activate the Kuja Pirates, the 5+ Kizuna unit, and they will give you an attack boost for themselves, Aokiji and Bone Clay, while also removing damage reduction completely and also giving you a conditional attack boost for everyone. then attack, ending on the 3 units that I mentioned have an attack boost, specifically Bon Clay because he has color advantage, and then easily defeat Van Ogre. For the final stage, because we do not have double Hina this time, you need to be more careful with your special activation order in order to get the correct boosting from everyone. First and foremost, you want to activate your friend Captain Hina to get an orb boost, remove attack down completely and defense up completely, while also getting a damage reduction shield. You also want to activate her super type for increased damage. The second special will be Smokers, who will give us a flat out 2.5 times attack boost for our Q units, which is very strong, and then you want to activate a Raid Bullet. He will give you a color affinity boost for all of your units. Then you want to activate Bon Clay for the full board of guaranteed matching slots, the base attack boost, and to turn him into a Q unit, classes do not matter. Also activate his super type for a good chain lock, and finally, after level 30 you are going to need to activate Aokiji to remove the threshold. Before level 30 he is not necessary, you can skip him and start your attacking chain to easily beat Blackbeard, but also easily survive his after defeat damage. And these are my 9 different teams, 3 for each variation for Kizuna vs Blackbeard. If you have any questions, feel free to tell me in the comments down below and I will do my best to help out. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, I would highly appreciate it if you leave a like and also subscribe to the channel for more One Piece Treasure Cruise content. As always, thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.